In this video, I'm going to be guiding you through Chapter 33, Supply-Side Policy. Supply-side policies are government measures which are designed to increase aggregate supply in the economy. What it does is that the government aims to set business-friendly policies as they actively aim to successfully increase overall economic growth over the long period of time. And the reason for governments using supply-side policy is its impact on productivity and total output in the economy, as the impact of these policies will benefit the overall productivity of a country's factors of production, which is capital, enterprise, land, and labor. And the result of this is that it will shift the production possibility curve towards the right as the economy grows. So now we move on to the impact of supply-side policies on macroeconomic objectives. In the case for privatization, this is when they break up state monopolies, which actively improve quality and reduce prices for all consumers in the economy. The increase in privatization will force businesses to be more efficient, as they all compete to make profit to survive. These businesses will be competing to get the largest market share. And in order to do this, they have to increase the quality and quantity of their product whilst lowering prices. The next impact is deregulation. This is when they relax rules and regulations, such as paperwork, that is required from the government. If these obstacles are removed, this will cause less friction between the businesses and government, making producing goods and services much easier and significantly more efficient. Next is education and training. This will improve the quality of the human capital within the economy. This will ensure that workers in the economy will be more productive, as people with higher levels of education, stronger skills, these people will be more employable, which will boost aggregate supply in the economy. The next impact is regions with high unemployment, as targeted policies to reform local labor markets in high unemployment regions, such as giving more incentive for unemployed people to work. This may include lowering the age of employment or increasing the age of retirement. Or you could incentivize more work by lowering income tax, or the government may be able to secure large funding for specific job creation projects in the worst hit regions. And in the case for infrastructure spending, this will improve the vital transportation networks and communication within the economy, and making it easier to communicate and getting from A to B in a timely manner. This will increase the productive potential of the economy. And by heavily upgrading major road networks, the physical distribution of goods become vastly quicker and easier. And in the case for lowering business taxes, this is when they cut corporate tax, which will increase their profit margins for further investment. This will raise business confidence, which stimulates the private sector expansion and output. What they can do is expand their business, which will result in a production of more goods and services, which will increase the aggregate supply of the economy. And in the case for lowering income taxes, this will incentivize people in the economy to work, as there is a higher level of disposable income due to a lower income tax. Furthermore, this will incentivize people to take less holidays and to work overtime. And as a result of this, the more people that are working in the economy, that means they are making or doing something. And this in turn will increase the aggregate supply of the economy. Now moving on to government controls. Our first control is regulation and legislation. The advantages of this is that it reduces the unfair exploitation of the vulnerable groups. The disadvantage, however, is that these rigid controls can impose massive additional costs, which may hinder or slow down business growth. And in the case for fines, the advantages of this is that giving financial fines acts as a massive incentive for businesses to obey environmental laws. However, on the flip side, this reduces their corporate profits, which will restrict future business expansion and investment. And without this, the businesses cannot grow, they will hire less employees, which will stifle or hinder economic growth. And lastly, in the case for pollution permits, the advantages of this is that it heavily incentivizes firms to successfully invent new technologies that will reduce their pollution. And the reason for this incentive is that they can sell their pollution permits to other businesses for money. The disadvantages, however, is that monopolies can buy all of the permits within the economy and leave absolutely nothing to other smaller businesses who may go out of business. This will reduce competitiveness in the economy, increase prices, and reduce quality. I hope that helped. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.